So let's roll over to, we'll grab Ice Serpent, and then we'll see what destroyer that is really quick. And we'll follow Rio a little bit. Like, last time we saw that, yeah, it looks like Micro isn't even going for C cap. Looks like they're going to fight for that B cap and kind of maybe snag A. It looks like they're forgetting about A too. So it's going to be a fight at B cap. Let's see if a destroyer on the Kantai team maybe tries to snag C cap. Maybe tries to snag A cap. Get some extra points on the board, but looks like most destroyers are going to be pushing A or pushing B cap. Looks like Krieger is going to be kind of sneaking on that C side. Maybe might go channel a little bit, pick up C cap while staying relatively safe from any torps. And looks like Rio might even be going towards A or just in this opening slot over here. And that's exactly what Krieger didn't want to see, is that torp plane. He's going to be getting picked on, going to be getting spotted. It's almost like he knew where he was or something like that. Just kidding. There's no stream sniping. I apologize. And this, I was wondering if Minikaze was going to go for this. And Minikaze, Warjin maybe juked Minikaze right here, because Minikaze thought Warjin had gone, maybe that strike build was going to do it again. Now Destroyer Minikaze is a balanced Shokaku. He's gone away from that fighter build, and that leaves him kind of open to the fighter build. And Warjin's bounced right back to that fighter Shokaku, and now it's fighter versus balanced. Warjin has the potential of rolling all the planes and controlling the entire sky, as well as being an offensive threat. So this is an interesting change. You know, he knew. Let's go to Rio really quick. He's getting picked on a little bit. Krieger's got to decide what he's going to do. Either he's going to start capping contending C or go help his friends, because he's going down pretty quick. Rio trying to cap B as fast as he can, but he kind of got pushed off from it. Torps are going in on those destroyers, but look at that. I was wondering if we were going to see those destroyers be a semi-threat on those side caps, and that's exactly what Kantai has done. Kantai did a really good job of that last week too, is they put the torps out, they put the pressure on the other team by capping. So they've done another really good job with that. They're up 2 caps to 1 already, and Krieger kind of being delayed. We're almost 3 minutes into it, and Krieger hasn't really passed the D line. Krieger's going to be pushing C cap, so he's going to be running into, we know, a Benson. So let's bounce it back over to Krieger and see what kind of rolls over here. But Destroyer Taylor on A cap, capping it with no contention. Let's see if Micro Krieger gets a DD. Let's see if the DD, the red DD, is going to be going channel, or if he's going to be going topside. I doubt he'll be going topside. Most likely going to be going channel, kind of contending that B cap, or maybe just completely rolling back to the bottom side of C. It was all a ploy. It could have been, man. It could have been. So there we go. The first cap for Task Force is being capped right now. A little late into the game. I mean, they're down about 80 points already. It's not massive at this point. It's only 1 ship. But Krieger's got to make a push and be a semi-threat. Krieger hasn't passed D-line yet. 2 caps and then I'm sorry. Now coming the minute. Nah, people were like all AIDSy about it last week, so I'm not going to. It was all a ploy. Okay, Krieger's got to start pushing the C cap, see what's up. He hasn't really seen anything. Nothing's been spotted. He does have a dive bomber and some dive bombers coming in. Very interesting seeing Minikaze being that balanced loadout. Let's go to Kedis, the all-star from the last game, dropping 4 kills, dunking on the enemy team. Now Kedis has got to be careful. We don't know where that one destroyer went. We don't know if he's maybe hiding right there. Kedis doesn't know. Candy Yam, Sterling Archer making a solid push on B right now. So the thing that they know is that one destroyer is off of A cap, so he's not too much of a threat right now. One destroyer is on C cap, and in come the torps. Oh man, Sterling Archer looking at a broad side of torps. Maybe not paying attention. Going to take at least 2, maybe 1. Taking 2 torps. Rio not doing the best. Well, he did screen him. He got him a bit of a. Oh, it looks like Ice Serpent will be able to avoid them, but not much else they're going to be able to do. He's going to take at least 1 with a solid shot, giving a good broadside to all these battleships too. Oh man, Sterling Archer can't catch a break. Rascally Rabbit, is he going to take a torp? Rascally Rabbit takes a torp on B cap. A blind torp. There's not much he could have done right there. The torps are going to be in, but they're going to be spotted by those dive bombers. There's not much else you can do. Submarine Wahoo takes the cap. He was the one who was capping. Microcargo's got to make a solid push. Destroyer Minakaze is spotted right now. They are tapping on the map saying, hey, kill that guy. We need to get him off the map. Down goes Sterling Archer. There's too many torps in the face. Not much else you could have done right there. So a big battleship loss right there. Rio slowly giving, I mean, not much else these destroyers can do. They can't take that. A-cap is all by itself. Rasky Rabbit down to about 1,000, 1,100 life. And down there's Sterling Archer. The body of Sterling Archer, Ice Serpent, trying to do as much as he can, taking this damage, but they're just getting picked on right now. Oh, trying to get that manual drop on Rasky. Rasky gets away without taking any damage, but we're looking at a map right now where, one, we don't know where the destroyers are, two, one of our destroyers is almost dead, and three, we're down a battleship. All those things I just said were not good things for the Task Force team. Task Force Apocalypse is at a big disadvantage. Candy DM's taking some solid shots. Ice Serpent putting some shots in, not really connecting with too much right now. More torps in for Rasky Rabbit. Rasky Rabbit's just trying to cap. He can't really do anything. If I'm him, I maybe just push this Destroyer Taylor, one to cap they. We're starting to look at the score right now too. They're over a 300-point disadvantage right now over Kantai getting those early caps and the single kill. I mean, how many games have we all played in ranked where we got out killed and they still won because they held more caps, or vice versa? So this is not only do they have a kill advantage with one solid shot from Rasky Rabbit, taking him out, they have the cap advantage, and goes the shots on Rasky. Down goes Rasky in the single salvo. Task Force at a big disadvantage right now. They need to get a kill on Destroyer. He needs to die right away. Shots come in from Destroyer Taylor. Rio taking some shots too. If I'm these battleships, I just start pushing up and taking names. They just start hitting their shots. Rio taking some solid damage from Destroyer Taylor. Big shots, down about 3k life. Can he do anything? He's got to be able to juke him out. He's going to be constantly spotted by planes. Destroyer Minakaze doing a really good job at holding down less than 1,000 life. He's on fire. Not going to have a repair. Less than 800 life. He's sitting there. Can he really do anything else? Maybe he's got a repair coming up soon. But if I'm him, I just peel off. Maybe get the torps off. Some last bit torps. Task Force Apocalypse, after such an amazing comeback game, are going to be down 3 ships to none right now. Icy, but let's go to him really quick. These guys just aren't connecting on their shots. Rathen with a really good smoke, but you gotta think there's a destroyer right in front of him, and just like that, Kantai pulls that B cap and starts cranking up the points again. Ice Serpent's gotta start hitting some shots. Cruiser Quincy's gotta go down. They gotta start getting some points back up on the board because they're over 400 point disadvantage. Ken Game's doing a really good job. Kedis trying to get a better angle, maybe get some good cross shots, but he's got that island as protection, which is really good. But man, it's 3 destroyers to 1. Micro luckily at full life, but he's capped C. He's been kind of contained by the aircraft carrier, but really hasn't been able to do too much. Cruiser Quincy down to about 20k life. But just like that, the enemy is about to win. Ice Serpent, tons of torpedoes coming in there. Micro's got to be aggressive and start pumping in some damage on these guys. He's got to be able to start running, not so much anti-DD or getting torps on people, but he's got to start getting some anti-DD in there and getting some of those torpedoes off. Cruiser Quincy down about 12k life, but look at that. Destroyer Midway, all those guys full life. Cruiser is the only guy taking damage. You got Cruiser Tago, who's chilling back there too with almost full life. You're looking at 3 full life battleships. They have 3 destroyers in front of you, and there's not much they can do. They're going to be losing Cruiser pretty quick. Rathon's taking some solid shots. Candid Yam's on fire. Cadis isn't able to get the shots that he was hoping to at that angle. And Krieger is kind of just chilling back. He can't do too much. I mean, he's going to be constantly spotted by planes, and if he pushes, it's mostly going to be a 2v1 situation, not in his favor. So, Ice Serpent can't push, although he's slowly going forward, but you have 2 Turpits and a Magi and a NorCal pushing right up into your face with, a destroyer, at least one within 10 kilometers. Not looking the best for Task Force Apocalypse right now. There's Submarine Wahoo pretty far away. Can't do too much. But Destroyer Minakaze going, he hasn't gotten a kill from it, but he is going that Candy M's with a kill. There you go. Quincy goes down, but I don't know if it's going to be enough right now. Michael Krieger putting down some smoke, trying to go as offensive as he can. And Kedis putting in some torps that way too. I don't think those are even going to reach, but Micro Krieger's got to start running some anti-DD. They know there's a DD about E5 right now. If I'm Krieger, I roll topside or go after Wahoo. You got to do something. You got to get a DD off and start. I just read that in chat. He's got to be able to put some damage on it. If I'm Micro Krieger, imagine if Cadus hits the shot and he goes down to about 5k more life. You got to be able to push and get a kill on these guys, but you're also really scared because it's a balanced Shokaku. Balanced Shokaku is it's another world dangerous, if that's the right sentence. It's tenfold more dangerous than even a fighter loadout because he can do the perfect cross torp that destroyers or carriers can do, and really put some big damage into a destroyer, making them one shot or even killing them. You know, at this level, you're gonna need at least 3 torp hits to kill a destroyer, but you're able to do that cross torp, get the big torps, get them flying, then maybe light them on fire, and it's a dead destroyer. There's not much else you can really do. Big planes coming in on Ice Serpent. Good barrage though, maybe a save right there. Ice Serpent gonna take at least maybe 4, maybe all 6. 3 on him though. Ice Serpent can't do too much. Good barrage though, good save. Oh, there's another barrage, but does he get him off? He does, yes. It's 4 torpedoes right in the ass of Ice Serpent. 1,000 life left. He doesn't have the repair either. He's on fire. He's flooding. He is repairing though. He's healing. He doesn't have the repair, so he is on borrowed time. He's spamming his R button, I'm sure. But that green bar is getting pretty small for Ice Serpent. Not only is he flooding, he's on fire. That's a lot of damage. Destroyer Haida relatively low, but Ice Serpent is in even lower, about 5k. There's the repair. So he's not dead, but he's out of heal. Gonna be back up to about 6k life, 5,500. That isn't a lot. Down goes Cruiser. Look at the scoreboard though, guys. 500 to over 900. They're gonna need 1 shot, 1 kills, and to not lose anybody in Micro Krieger. Going in for the last minute smoke, but Ice Serpent just taking too much damage. Krieger's actually gonna run into him. That's a deadly fire right there, regardless if he took no other damage. No repair in sight. Down goes Ice Serpent, and down goes the game. Kantai Fleet continuing on with their win. Gonna win the 2 out of 3. These guys are on fire. They dropped the second game, but win the third. Best 2 out of 3. They're taking the victory home over Task Force Apocalypse. Good games throughout, but man, Kantai Fleet pushed those caps hard. They get the A and C cap. They leave the fight. Micro Krieger wasn't able to do too much. He was kind of trying to find the right place to go, and then by the time he was able to do anything, he was out of the game for so long. It was going to be 1v3 destroyers, or he was going to be spotted by the carrier. Warjin did a really good job. Maybe it was a little psychological game, but he did juke Destroyer Minakaze out to doing a balance loadout, because maybe he was going to think he was going to roll that strike loadout again. But you got to give it to the destroyers on the Kantai Fleet, because they controlled the caps. They didn't lose a single one, and they kept pumping out damage. Good torp damage as well. Great game by Destroyer Minakaze, getting an extra little bit of damage on an Ice Serpent, and down he went. Big damage from the battleships as well. Cruiser Tago. I don't think the guy takes any damage. Basically with smoke, it was a last-ditch effort, so it is what it is. But a really good game throughout. They got kind of snowball effect in a negative way for the Team Task Force. You know, they had a really big, demanding comeback in that second game, and kind of rolled off that high into the third game. But they weren't able to. You know, they pushed B very hard. You know, maybe Krieger pushes that C cap and wins that 1v1 fight. You know, at least see it. But he got scared off by the planes. Completely fine. He has to be a lot more careful because it is a balanced Shokaku and not a fighter Shokaku. Like I said, that 1 extra torp bomber is huge. You can get that perfect. You can get them trained. These guys are top tier aircraft carriers. So they're going to know exactly how to do that perfect cross torp. So they're at least 1, maybe 2, if not a killed destroyer out of that. So gotta be really careful. Destroyer Minakaze goes, maybe he got tricked, maybe he just went with a more offensive threat, but same thing. Kantai Fleet, they did a really good job at controlling caps. That's one thing I saw them do last week. They did it against OP, and OP ran out of time. They did a really good job at controlling caps. You're too yellow. They did a really good job of controlling caps, And although the Kantai fleet did a really good job at killing off the ships, and that that was given big points too, they controlled at least 2 of the 3 caps the entire game. So give them a huge advantage. Props to the Kantai destroyers. Krieger was trying to find the right move, and it seemed like he didn't. But by the time he was going to do one, he was getting countered in the other. So and by then, Ryu and basically Rascally Rabbit kind of just got knocked out of the game. So 1v3 destroyers, there's not really a safe place you can go. Maybe Krieger goes a bit more defensive and kind of starts going more anti-DD. I think you should have kind of rolled to that. Of course, there's the possibility of losing it, but and getting killed. But you gotta save your destroyers. You gotta save your battleships from taking those extra torp damage. So really good game by Kantai Fleet. Kind of just controlled the game throughout. Basically from the start, I would kind of say, hey, it'd be interesting to see if Kantai rolls A and C cap, and instantly they were getting capped by the red team. So a really good job by those guys controlling those caps. Really good job by the destroyers on the Kantai fleet, and they get the win. They move on. They win the series, and they hold sole place of 3rd place in the league. Task Force Apocalypse will actually drop down to 4th place all by themselves, and so the final will be for the standings. At least after this, actually I don't know the first game these guys played, but Task Force will drop down to 4th place. Poseidon will be holding on to 5th place, and Kantai Fleet will be a solid 3rd place. Looks like at least 7-3 after this. So